I have something to talk about already. All right? Already, there's been a leak. Sony idiotically updated their website, all right, to already list their major announcement for today's Summer Game Fest because they didn't know what they were doing. It's what we already knew was coming, all right? It is official. They are remaking The Last of Us 1, and the details are finally available. First of all, it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive title for a while, and then eventually a PC version will be released. Alright, it is not for PS4, it's only PS5, and eventually PC. It's coming out September 2nd. Okay? Okay. What are the features? Dramatically improved graphics, remade from the ground up, a new graphical engine than the original game, and modernized controls. That I don't understand. So, how many of you out there played The Last of Us 1 at launch? I did. I'm sure many of you out there probably did. Maybe some of you didn't. Maybe you played it later. How many of you played The Last of Us 1 on PlayStation 4? I did as well. It was actually one of the end-of-life games for PS3. One of the final games, the swan songs for the PlayStation 3 console. But then they immediately released it on PlayStation 4 at the launch of that console, and a lot of people played it on there as well. Hell, they were selling the PS4 in launch bundles with The Last of Us 1 remastered on it. You see? So, that was, many years ago, admittedly. That was early life cycle of PS4. But, for those of you out there who played it, if you didn't play it, obviously you wouldn't know. But if you played it, think back to playing the game. Would you say that The Last of Us 1 doesn't have modernized controls? Are the controls unresponsive in any way? Are the controls tank-like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they mean by this? What I would say is the only thing that they may be alluding to is that what they're going to do is add in the features that they had on the PS5 controller, the DualSense features, which there were a few of. I'm not going to lie. There were a few that were nice features during the game. I thought they were nice. But are they essential to the gameplay experience? Did they dramatically change the way the game is played? Not at all. In fact, they were just like little bells and whistles. It wasn't like, oh, I'm blown away. The game is completely a different game now because I'm playing it on the DualSense. It couldn't be further from the truth. As I've told you guys, most games that I've played, most games that I have played with the DualSense controller, all right, I forget the DualSense controller has features after like 5 minutes. Every game I've ever played on PS5, the only 2 games that I tell you the DualSense stands out for me was the Astro's Playroom and Bugsnax. That's literally it. Any other game that's had haptics, any other game that's had other DualSense features, I forget. So do I really feel like playing The Last of Us 1 on the DualSense controller, it's going to absolutely blow me away and knock me on my ass? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to really blow me away at all. Some people disagree, and that's fine. That's fine. If you disagree, if you loved the haptics or whatever, okay, fair enough, then maybe you're getting something there. But to me, they don't really add that much after that little initial gimmick of, oh, okay, there's some haptic feedback or whatever. I forget about it, okay? Improved graphics. I mean, the PS3 version of Last of Us 1 had the best graphics of that console. The PS4 version looked outstanding. I really don't know what more they're going to do. Okay, it's a new graphical engine. It already looked hyper-realistic. So now it looks more hyper-realistic. Or maybe now full, beautiful, unchugging 60 frames. If you remember on PS4, it did run on 60 frames. So to me, it's kind of like graphical upgrades. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I will say. Now, this is completely guessing. Okay? 100% completely me guessing. Maybe they are going to institute all of the accessibility features from The Last of Us 2 and literally copy paste them and have them now work in The Last of Us 1. Now, if that's the case, then they've got something. Because as I've told you guys so many times in the last 2 years, The Last of Us 2 is the most accessible AAA mainstream game ever made. It's got accessibility features out the ass, okay? And that's a great thing. Most modern games that are AAA should be having these features. And I told you guys, I felt that was like the poster example of the game that everyone else should copy when it goes to accessibility in the future. And sadly, I hate to say it, in the last few years, there really haven't been that many games that have followed that formula. Instead, if they have accessibility, it kind of falters after a menu, okay? So, what I will say is if it has those unique accessibility features, I mean, hell, I still remember I jumped on Super Blind Man's stream, and he's playing the game, Last of Us 2, that is. And he's fully displaying the sonar capabilities of the game. He's riding on a horse through like a forest, and it's hard, even for someone who's using just their eyes, it's kind of a little confusing to ride through of the forest. He's using the sonar, and the sonar is guiding him through the forest, and he's able to play the game fully. I was blown away. My jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit. This is like insanely cool. Whoever came up with this is a genius. And by the way, Super Blind Man was part of the developmental process. He was the one that worked with Naughty Dog on that system to make it work. So seriously, like, that's amazing to me. Please take that stuff and put it into The Last of Us 1. So if anything, the one thing that I feel could be actually monstrously constructive for Last of Us 1 would be to put the accessibility features from 2 into 1. Alright? But we have to now address the ginormously giant, smelly, mud-encrusted elephant standing in the corner of the room over there. Alright? Are you ready for this, guys? Are you ready? Prepare yourselves. Get ready. Bunker down. Sit back. Here we go. Okay. Compose myself. Ready. The Last of Us 1 Remake will sell for $70. Whoa! What? $70? Ooh. You could hear fucking Tim Allen. What the fuck? $70. It's not a new game. The game's been out since the PlayStation fucking 3. And you're selling it for $70? Like it's a giant, hyped new release no one's touched yet? Are you fucking insane? By the way, the game doesn't even have... Well, actually, I take that back. I don't know if it'll have full-fledged multiplayer or not. I don't want to say that because I don't think they've revealed that yet. And in fact, maybe they will reveal that today. Perhaps it'll have full-fledged multiplayer with new content and stuff. We don't know. And during today's Summer Game Fest, we may find out more information. I don't want to jump the gun and shit on the game too much when we don't have all the information in front of us. Alright? But I just wanted you to think about that. $70 for a game that's from PlayStation 3 because they're claiming they upgraded the graphics and it has slightly improved controls. What universe are we living in right now? I don't think this is Earth 1. I think we're like Earth 7.5 or like Earth 9. This is definitely a parallel dimension that Sony and Naughty Dog think that this is going to fly. You know what? Like, now here's the thing. I hate to say it. The Last of Us 2. Alright? The most awarded game of all time. And I really have a hard time even saying that. Because you have to put yourself in the frame of reference of 2 years ago. Alright? The Last of Us 2 was a champion for progress in gaming, diversity in gaming. Why were we talking about that when The Last of Us 2 came out? Because that's what Druckmann, Neil Druckmann, the lead game designer, director, whatever you want to say, was emphasizing about his game. Was he talking about how the game had innovative gameplay features that blew you away and made it feel like it was the best game ever made? No. He was talking about this game has all kinds of, you know, progressive stuff in it, which is good. And by the way, I'm not opposed to that at all. But when the focus of the game was essentially that stuff rather than, oh, the gameplay elements were better. Oh, the story's really good. Instead, it was, oh, we dared to do things in our game that others don't, and we're really pushing forward with progress. And by the way, if you don't like our game, you're a bigoted hater, and therefore, everyone should buy our game and say it's the best game ever and vote for it in every award show because it sticks it to the haters.